Now, the next thing that we're going to address is what is the right modality for contacting journalists? And a lot of journalists have expressed their preferences. And basically, the summary is that email is king. Don't pitch a journalist over Twitter. You can't do it in 140 characters. Don't try and spam a journalist to DM them. It doesn't really work. And don't be creepy and stalk them over Facebook. It's just not the right thing to do. Instead, simply just write an email. The body shouldn't be more than 200 words long, and the subject line should be, 40 to 60 characters. So basically, short, punchy, to the point. Don't waste anybody's time. And at the same time, give them a couple of links or attachments to allow them to find out more if they wish to. Now, this is a template from a friend of mine, and it basically encapsulates all of that advice. It's short, it's punchy, it's to the point, it gets across everything that you need to get across, and at the same time, it doesn't waste anybody's time. So have a look at it and see if you can adapt it for your own use. The next question people tend to have is, what is the best time for reaching a journalist? And this is surprisingly important because you want to be the guy or girl who gets your email into the journalist's inbox first thing in their workday, because we all know how it feels at 4 p.m. on a Friday. That's the time when most people have given up on life. In order for your email to have the best chance of being received, being read, and being considered, you want to get to them when they're fresh, when they're starting a workday. And that translates to around 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. Now, you can do something really creepy, which I heard from a press expert. And the tip is to look at the Twitter feed of the journalist, and every single tech journalist worth their salt will have a Twitter account. And look at when they first start either replying to tweets or liking tweets or basically any sort of activity. And that probably is the time when they wake up. So this is maximum creepy, but probably quite effective and just something to consider when you are going down this route. Now, the next tool is really, really useful, not just for pitching journalists, but for life in general. And this is something called boomeranggmail.com. And it's basically a plugin for Gmail that is really powerful. It allows you to schedule your emails at any point in the future. So this means that if you're pitching a tech journalist who lives in the opposite time zone to you, you don't have to be awake at 4:30 a.m. sending that email. You can schedule this to be sent later at any time point. You can schedule your email to be sent out at any time point in the future. And this also happens to be how my mother gets a happy birthday note from me without fail every single year on her birthday. So use it for life or use it for business. Either way, it's a really, really useful free plugin. Check it out. Now, we're really giving away a lot of secret sauce. These tools are some of my favorite in the world. This is another one called Get Sidekick, and it's made by HubSpot. And this is one of the most powerful email tools out there. What it allows you to do is to track your email. So what the service does is that it embeds a invisible pixel into your HTML email. And once that invisible pixel gets loaded on the recipient's email client, you get a notification telling you that your email was opened by so-and-so. So this is really useful for pitching journalists because sometimes your email will just get lost in a sea of emails. And if you know that your email hasn't even been opened, then it's probably not a bad idea to try and resend the email or reword the email a week later and see if you have a better chance. Now, the next thing to remember is that before you pitch any journalist, make sure that you have a press kit that's ready. So this includes founder headshots, this includes your logos, this includes your website homepage, or your app screenshots if you're an app company, or product photos if you're a hardware company, etc. Basically, these are high quality images or videos in various sizes and resolutions that if a journalist decides to pick up on your story, they can simply write, a paragraph and drop these images in without having to contact you ever again. And the rule for pitching journalists as well as for life is if you can make somebody else's life easier, then you'll usually have a better chance of getting what you want. So make sure that you include this as a link to an attachment rather than just an attachment itself, because most spam filters will filter out emails which has a zip file in it.